Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Round Letter Podcast, where we talk football, football, football. Today, I've got Uyi, Prince, and Tolu with me, and we're going to be talking about the Premier League fixtures that was just released the the last few days. So, we're just going to go through the teams and speak about some of the fixtures, the juicy fixtures we're expecting. We'll talk about summer arrivals and departures as well, and maybe some early predictions. So uh, guys, how far? How's everyone feeling?
We're good.
Yeah,
Not
I
not
mean,
good. Not good here.
No wala, no wala. So as courtesy demands, we are going to start with Liverpool. So just looking through their fixtures, first five games: Bournemouth at home, Newcastle away, Arsenal at home, Burnley away, Everton at home. Prince, how far?
well, yeah. Thanks guys for having me. It's been a while. In terms of our fixtures, I feel like it's pretty okay, even though it's also a difficult fixture if you look at it, right? We're going through play. I think let me see. We're playing Bournemouth, Newcastle, Arsenal, Burnley.
Newcastle away is difficult.
Yeah, so we're talking about like two of the top teams that played, and then also we have like a Merseyside derby and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a tough start, but given the position that we finished last season, and and the recruitment that we're making, and the ones that are going to come, I think it should be sellable. If you ask me, I mean, I'm talking like a champion right now, right? I don't
Of course,
I
of
don't
course.
see too much. I don't see too much hurdle. I mean, Bournemouth. If you look at what's going on right now, I think Bournemouth is being picked apart by a lot of the top clubs,
Yeah.
most Liverpool. So I mean, that should weaken them. Yeah,
Consequences of success.
that should
Yeah.
weaken them. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we have the other guy that's going to. I think one of them is supposed to was going to Leverkusen also. But the point is, no matter how much they get this season in terms of money, in terms of player transfer, you'd expect that they'll be significantly weakened. That should be like
Yeah.
we should
I
we
don't
should be
think
able.
they'll be able to replace those players. We're talking
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Kekes,
Yeah,
what's the guy that went
Kirk
to
Huijsen,
Madrid?
the guy that went to Real Madrid, you
And
know,
then one is going to PSG as well now.
PSG, yeah, and then if
Semenyo might be leaving as well.
Tottenham takes Semenyo,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about this the other day. I was like, wait, who is the manager for Bournemouth? And I remember Iraola. The guy really did a good job, right? So they're just going to just put this guy in a difficult situation where you now start ranking player managers that are going to sack, and he might
He'll
just
be
be
up there. Yeah.
he might just be there. So yeah, so that Bournemouth should be a selling game. It's a pretty tricky fixture. Newcastle has always been, a tricky fixture. I would say a Bournemouth win, Newcastle draw, Arsenal, you know, a draw
Normal win.
game.
Normal.
No. I mean, it's very, it's an early, it's an early matchup between both sides, and I think if my memory serves me correctly, most times when we're playing the top clubs, right, early in the season, it's always like draw-ish, right? It's always draw-ish. It's not like we are
Even
going
if
to
it's
win
not
that match.
early,
But except when we started,
just
we found our groove. I think everything depends on what we play against Bournemouth and Newcastle, right? Depends on how we start those two matches. That will kind of like give me a better idea of what that game will look like. But if I was to make any predictions right now, I would say a draw. Because Arsenal is also going to strengthen. I mean, you
Yeah.
have the guy coming there. I don't know, and then Zubimendi too, right? So,
Yeah.
and I mean, they're still going to be facing normal center back pairings of Konate and Van Dijk, you know. So, but yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game, you know. But for now, just call it a draw, you know, and then see what we, you know, see how well we play after Newcastle. Then,
Okay, Burnley.
but this, I mean, I'm not to write anything off, but I mean, that should be a comfortable win
Yeah,
for
yeah.
us. And then Everton. So Everton, even though you know much is made about the Merseyside derby and how you know, and Moyes did a good job last season, but I think it will be too much for them to handle. You know, it doesn't matter who are playing the game, whether at Anfield or at Goodison Park in these early stages.
They're in
I
a new
would.
stadium now. This
Yeah, it's a
season.
new stadium, so it's gonna be also because they need to kind of like also settle into the stadium, right? You know, it's even as their stadium, they need to like settle into the stadium, and then for now, it will not necessarily feel like a home game, even if it's a home game. Because the thing about home games is, apart from the crowd, you know, like you know the fans that you have, you know, the familiarity with the pitch too is something that is another thing, right? I feel like the familiarity with the pitch because there's something.
But you'll be at home anyway in this season.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, because I was just thinking back to when I think there was a time I can't remember the match right now, but it was a game where Trent Alexander-Arnold was supposed to take a free kick, and it was going to be tricky because I was looking at how he gauges the post at Anfield when he's taking his free kick, and you know, opposed to you know away games. But yeah, so that should be 3 points. Bournemouth, you know, Newcastle
Burnley.
as 3 points. Burnley, 3 points. Everton. So. I don't
That's
think
not bad.
I
That's
don't
not
think
bad.
I should have like I think 12 points out of 15 games. So, you know, should do it for me.
Okay,
Out of
so
the 5 games rather.
yeah. So you touched on transfers earlier, incomings for Liverpool. So how are you feeling? You must be very, very happy as a Liverpool fan, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, like I mean, everybody believes that Liverpool fans are you know they're on a pedestal right now. They're like you know elated and everything. I mean, there's cause for optimism, right? I mean, we just got
Because
VS
I
good
mean,
result.
these players they just slot in into your team because Frimpong comes in straight. I believe you guys are letting Robertson go. Yeah,
It depends.
so
I mean, we've not heard.
Kekes slots in directly, and Words comes in directly as well. But the thing is, who is Words replacing in that midfield?
I don't really think he's gonna. I mean, I don't really think there's been talks about you know replacing Soboslai,
But
but
he's been
you
very good. Yeah, he's been very good.
know, Soboslai, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Soboslai has been immense, immense. So
And you can't take Gravenberch out of that team.
no, Gravenberch is gonna start.
So
So the truth is, even you know, it's most likely gonna be Soboslai because I mean, when slots came in last season, I remember the first few games we played, like the first 5 games, Soboslai started on the bench, you know, or his game was off, you know, if and you know with that time I think we're talking about people that were affected by this by Slot's arrival, and it turns out that Gravenberch you know had a positive effect to Slot, but Soboslai his performance doing you know kind of like went down, but over the season he kind of like built his you know his style again. So I think I still feel like Slot would find a way to kind of like pair the both of them because you know we have McAllister, Gravenberg, and Soboslai right in the middle,
yeah,
and then now we have Viet. So again, Soboslai will be the person that they want to chop off. But if I don't know how Slot is going to use this, maybe he might want
because
to.
you can't really bench the highest transfer.
No, no, no.
I think
He's gonna
it's a British record. Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna
Yeah,
start.
he's British record. Yeah.
He's gonna start. He's gonna start. Well, yeah. I mean, if all indications points to Soboslai being the one to be axed, you know, because McAllister and Gravenberch, you know, I mean, those two, you can't, they're irreplaceable in the midfield. So yeah, for now, we'll see how it happens because even Frimpong, you know, I was reading about you know his diversity and what he brings and how he plays more like a winger than. In fact, they've even been talks about him deputizing for Salah at some point in the a season where I don't
Yeah.
so it's
I
interesting to
think
see.
I think that will happen. I think Bradley will get some games as well.
Yeah, so it's
Right.
interesting to see how slots kind of uses those two guys, but it will be a hard one on Soboslai, in my opinion. you
Okay,
know.
so we've spent quite some time on Liverpool and rightly so because you guys are champions. But just to finish on Liverpool, your last fixtures you've got Man United away, Chelsea at home, Aston Villa away, Brentford at home. That's in May. What what I'm trying to say is, what are your predictions for this season? Do you think you are going to retain your crown this season?
Okay, I mean, I don't want to talk about the last fixtures because I don't know. A lot of things can happen between now and then. So, but in terms of where we think we're going to finish, right now, I don't I don't see I can't see beyond Liverpool and Man City, right? Man City just because I mean. They've also done pretty good business bringing in Turkey and
I'm not entirely
Reinders.
convinced by Man City though. I get it. People are saying, but
Their
well,
business, you can't rule it
we'll
out.
get to Man City, Sha.
Man
We'll get to
City,
Man City.
Man City is Man City. Like those two guys will definitely add something to the team. Okay, so it's gonna be between Liverpool and Man City. But as a Liverpool fan, I still, I mean, I would say that we should be able to retain the title. No, there's no question asked on that. Especially as right now. What if you just get, like I said, I've said in our group earlier that once we can get in a striker, right, and maybe adding Guehi, just to beef up the defense, I don't see anything that will stop us, especially the striking department. Once we have a suitable number nine.
Okay, good. Well, as expected, if I were you, I'll be saying the same thing. So, well, let's move over to our good friends over
Why do you
at
have an?
Arsenal.
As yeah, I was about to ask why do you have an Arsenal jersey on.
That's true.
The Gunners,
That's straight.
That's
the
I'm just
Gunners.
noticing it now.
No,
That's straight
I
on
won't
moves.
confuse. I won't confuse my enemies. Tolu, what's up? What's up? How are you feeling?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, looking at your fixtures, it's like it's a very tough one. You've got Man United away, Leeds at home, Liverpool away, Forest at home, and City at home. First five fixture. What are you feeling? Talk to me.
I don't understand what sort of fixture combination is that to start the season? That's like, that's like we're forced to start the season on fire. Um, I know Arteta in previous seasons, he's tried to start the season slow, then get into gear like in January or December, but this time around with those kind of fixtures, you're not allowed to start soft. So Man United away, and Arteta needs to fix up, man. I'm tired. If if he
What do you mean by that? Are you talking about your lack of movement in transfer window?
not necessarily until the transfer window shuts the league, you can't really judge. I mean, the clubs can move really fast in the last week. There might be certain deals going on the ground that we don't know about. I know Barca is working on Sesko and Gyökeres concurrently, so whatever deals goes through, let's see. They've just signed Zubi's paperwork, so yeah. But I have a problem why they haven't sorted out who they are getting out for left wing, and if they still want to get an attacking midfielder thereabout. Not
So
really.
talking about
That's what
Sesko and Gyökeres, who would you?
Oh, Gyökeres obviously like you know. I'm not.
Sesko is young. He's still got
Just
more. He will give you guys more years, and he's going to improve. So I think
I
that's what
don't
you guys
care.
need.
Like Thierry already said, we've been building. The building is very tall now. I'm not trying to wait another 5, 6, 6 years. Left to me, last season I would have sacked the manager, but So club still decided
Ah,
to stay with
so
him.
you are
So
Arteta out.
Who,
they
Ateta?
better, yeah. The club still
Oh,
decided to stay with him. So they better back it
that's
now.
pretty.
That's
That's some
that's
pretty.
very interesting. That's very
That's some pretty shouts. Too deep shout.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't think
like,
it's a deep shot, though. I don't think so.
if you if
no,
you
no. For us, I
Yeah,
understand, but for an Arsenal fan, well, I don't know.
what do you mean for an Arsenal
It's
fan?
in- it's
We want
interesting
to
because
win.
normally they lack ambition, so they are they are content with
Top
Arteta.
four
So, but
and
I'm
second.
I'm just
Yeah, fair enough.
surprised. I'm surprised to hear him say he would have sacked Arteta after coming second.
I mean,
But, yeah,
That's like third time in a row. You know, if you build a team, they're capable of going up onto the end, and it's so annoying that Slot just came out of nowhere and just grabbed the title. It was like Slot just timed this coming, and we just handed it over to him. Take,
yeah.
that was so annoying because we didn't even fight for it. That's ridiculous
Yeah,
stuff.
because last season, not last season, the season before, if we had been told that City was going to be that bad, I think everyone would have predicted Arsenal to
Arsenal,
take.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but
no,
like,
but you can't rule out the red cards and the. I mean, it's part of gameplay too. But I mean, the red cards and the injuries is what really affected
I
you guys
mean,
early
It
on.
affects
he's
affects it
he's
affects everybody.
exactly,
Injuries,
and that's
I,
everybody.
that's
I
That's the
not an
was
excuse.
excuse.
no, the our injuries were particularly severe, but I was telling someone where I don't understand why Arteta expects an ideal situation. Football is not ideal. You know things will not go as planned in the season. When you're going into the season, you try and gear up as much as you can. He let go of four attacking players who were supporting the main attacking players. Let go of Nelson, Vieira, Emil Smith-Rowe, Eddie. These guys were not really, really good, but they were the ones supporting the game time for the guys that were starting. It's no shock when you remove that base and you don't replace it and you bring in Sterling, who's not even motivated to play football anymore. What's going to happen to the guys already there? Havertz and Saka both tore their hamstring. They've never had a major injury in their career, So when you subject them to such stress, because they're going to get injured, no one's going to play high intensity continuously like that, So part of it is they didn't plan properly for the season. They didn't, and it's so annoying. This season
Well,
now, looking at this transfer window, man, yeah, this is what I'm hoping changes, and Arteta needs to fix up as well. I think he needs to give up a bit of control. He's entering this. He's obsessed with the numbers, of the data. We're not considering so. Okay, but we're not winning what we need to win, So man, leave the numbers alone. Let the players play, and yeah,
yeah. Well, I was looking at your departures this season. So Jorginho is off, Tierney is gone. Partey, what's happening with Partey? Are you guys letting him go, or is he signing a new
man,
deal?
I can't tell you since when I wanted that guy to leave my club, man.
That guy is out the door.
You think
That's
so?
that's weird. I feel like it's so instrumental
That
to
guy is
Arsenal.
gone. I've read somewhere where everything was done,
Uh,
pretty much done. I was surprised when I when
nah,
I saw that news. That guy is
You
gone.
I've
don't even know if Subimani will come good. That's the reality of the Premier League. You're not sure.
Partey is a very very good player, and if you everything positive about you guys last season, he was involved. So
Yeah.
yeah,
no
so I
last
don't understand.
Partey, the season before last season, we had a better campaign than last season where he was available for most of the season. So what Partey is the player where now don't get me wrong, when it comes to quality, yes, Partey is up there. When it comes to reliability, he's just not reliable. You know, he's not. Is either we are going, I can't remember, this is not a joke. Previous seasons, okay, Partey is around. We're calm. Suddenly we want to play Man City. Partey gets injured in training. This doesn't happen once, twice, three times, four times.
But
It's like
don't you think that's
consistently.
don't you think that frustration should be towards the medical staff or the manager rather than the player?
Yeah.
Huh?
No, Partey's body has just consistently been failing him. Ironically, last
It should
season, when
it should be
when
managed better.
which is what I'm saying. Ironically, last season, when we now had a major of other players get injured, Partey doesn't go out. So but do I trust Partey's one season over his last 5 seasons? Nope, I don't. Uh, I know he was playing for a new contract, which is what the argument is right now. He doesn't want to reduce his wages. He wants to stay on the same wages. And Arsenal is like, nope, you're not reliable enough for us to trust you to stay on the same wages. Everybody seems saying Partey is this key piece. I mean, City just let go of Kevin De Bruyne. So what are we talking about? Man, please leave. If
Well,
you're not going to take the pay cut
well, I think
on your way.
for him as well, he must be weighing his options because I don't think a player at his level would want to take a wage cut or something like that. So, and
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be no shortage of offers for him, maybe from Saudi or from anywhere. So, I agree. I don't think Partey would stay with you guys, but with if we're assuming Partey is leaving, with Partey leaving, Jorginho leaving, doesn't that leave your midfield a bit light, even with Zubimendi coming in? So what's going to
Ah,
happen?
we forget. Like, midfield has never been Arsenal's problem in a long time. Midfield has actually never been our problem. People forget that we signed Merino, we signed Rice,
But he's
and
your
we've signed
striker now.
Zubimendi. What striker? It's a makeshift striker. It's going back to days of
He's your
Liverpool, but
striker. He scored
But
more
he's
goals
not.
than he
But
scored
he's
more
not a
goals than
DM.
your
is
striker.
is makeshift. It was desperate. What's the saying? Desperate
Desperate
times call for
times.
desperate measures. That was what happened. It's not a striker. He's going back into midfield. So we have multiple players that can play there for goodness sake.
Okay.
Uh, Rice most especially. So
Yeah. And
I'm
Rice
not.
is
I'm.
very reliable. So
I'm not bothered with. I'm bothered about the attack. We need attacking players. We need attacking players. That's what we need really. The base of the midfield and the defense. I don't have a problem with it. We are going to be
so
fine.
I have one more player I want to ask you about, and then we'll leave Arsenal for now. I am hearing he's agreed a new deal now. Your wonder boy at left back. Do you trust him to hold that position for the season? He's just 18 years old now.
No, 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 no. Nope. You know, a lot of time people fall into this. It's a young player. This that. Ask myself, if Yamal was in Liverpool, for instance, and he was pairing up, it's him and Salah. Would you be playing? Would Barca be playing Yamal all the time? Nope. He will be
No,
on the bench. Salah is
Who are we
going to
talking
play.
about? Sorry.
Lamine
Um,
Yamal. If him and Salah were in the same team, he's not going to be starting all the time. That's a matter of fact. So I think for young players at that age, if you can protect them from, especially their own ego, the limelight,
no,
and make it,
Prince. We are talking about Miles Lewis Kelly.
Oh,
uh,
that guy.
yeah, and you can make it sure that, listen, every day you still have to work hard. Yes, you've gained the recognition. We know you're good, but you still have to work hard to keep your place there. So if Califury is fit, please put him back in the team. Uh, if Miles Lewis Kelly keep fighting, yes, then you deserve to play. Not playing Skelly on merit. So I still think the senior player should keep playing. But if Lewis Kelly can maintain and keep him out, like he's playing at a consistently high level, no by all means, step into the team. But I
Okay,
still think he needs to protect it as well.
okay. So one last question. Your prediction. Where do you think Arsenal ends this?
I've been saying first for the last like 2 seasons now. To say
Well,
first,
you can give me two answers. You can say your head says this, but your heart says this. So
I think both is even saying the same thing. But because
top four, top five.
no, we're not going to go out of top four. That's the thing. We're not going out of top four. I think if man, one thing I'm just sad about is like the players are going to get tired of this. They can't keep going and not making it. So I know Ateta has the the tactical ingenuity to change up the setup and make us tick. If he's still remaining stubborn and they don't do his franchise window properly, we're not winning anything. Like looking at how we'll probably finish second or third again. Looking at what Liverpool is doing, they are
And
serious.
and
City
and
are
if that
serious.
if
So
that happens, would it be definitely Ateta has to?
oh yes, the last now all he has is the last defenders now. So um, yeah, he has to go. And if it's not
Okay,
because he's bad necessarily, I don't think he's a bad manager. But sometimes,
because maybe he's taking the team as far as he can.
yeah, and sometimes you just need a rejuvenation. It's not like when Klopp left, Klopp could no longer put this team on high level or something. But sometimes you just need that change. So
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, Pascal, are you there? Cool, cool. So, we're going to go to Man City next. So looking at their fixtures, uh, uh, in August, they've got Wolves away, Spurs at home, Brighton away, United at home, and Arsenal away. What are you thinking?
I think the fixtures are rigged,
Ri- Rigged in what way?
It's always the same for City every season. They start them with very easy games. If you Most seasons they've always had, very easy teams to play. Playing Wolves, a depleted Wolves, that has lost Cunha, lost Aitnori. You know, on paper, I mean, it's a very easy 3 points for City. And
And Spurs as well.
yeah, Spurs and what's the third one?
Brighton.
Brighton. I mean, these are these are teams that usually City could get 3 points from. But again, last season taught us a lot about the law of diminishing returns. Nobody ever thought City could go that low. At some point, they were struggling with goals. They were shipping in loads of goals. Even with the new players that came on board, strengthening the team, goals were still coming. But I think Pep has, maybe he has figured out everything that has been wrong last season, brought in more players, signed, he signed this left back. Yeah, I think it's
Nuri,
Nuri.
they've got Nuri in, they've got Tijani Reinders in,
Yeah,
they've got Cherky
Cherky.
in. Yeah.
So, I mean, but De Bruyne is out. I still, I still think that is one mistake City is making, really, for
Yeah,
me.
that is my I think losing KDB is a big mistake. Big mistake. I I know the world best player is coming back and that will help them, but I think KDB was what made that team tick because
Yeah,
if you look at the seasons where those seasons where they won the league as well, you could tell when KDB was out of the team, they struggled,
struggled there.
but when he came back, they just took off.
They outclassed
So
all their opponents.
yeah, and seriously, I don't trust this Sheki Rangers. This is the Premier League. You have to come in and prove yourself. I don't think they will just come in and just start. And I saw the guy making a statement saying he's going to destroy Manchester
He's a
United.
joke. He's a joke. He's a
You
joke.
understand? Like
Like
how?
he is.
Like
I
what?
have a feeling that doesn't go down well. Honestly,
Of course, Pep will be very very annoyed with
Yeah,
that statement. So it's to me, I'm not really and watching them in the Club World Cup as well. I'm not really really convinced to it. I
yeah.
don't think I don't think their woes are over yet. I really they might get it right later on, but I'm not I'm not convinced really.
Another point is I need to see how they play with what's it called, the world best player. I need
Rodri, yeah.
Yeah, I need to see how
Rodri.
they play with Rodri back in the team. See if they get their balance back. I mean, if for anything, see if they concede less goals, even if they don't outscore opponents, with if they don't ship,
where is
if they don't load opponents with goals. I need to see how they balance out in the middle, how Rodri will help solidify the defense again. If that happens, then we can say they may be back. But I mean, if the reverse is the case, Pep is in for bigger trouble because once they don't get it right, you could see at the points where the game against Arsenal, when Arsenal actually bullied them, at that point, I mean, their morale just dropped. Every
Yeah,
game,
yeah,
every game, it was obvious they were. You saw they were jittery at the back. Once they lost the ball in the middle, it was almost a shot on target for the opponent. So it will be very instrumental to see how they play with and without Rodri. You know,
yeah.
well,
And they
Is
haven't
for
made
sorry,
they
where
haven't
is
made any
Foden?
defensive. Sorry, Tolu. Sorry to cut you short. They
Good
haven't made
question.
any defensive signings as well. So and they were very very bad last season
yeah,
defensive.
yeah.
Tolu,
But
what were you saying?
where is Foden?
We keep acting like this boy doesn't exist. Where is Foden? Is it not? He's supposed to take on the Brand
I have.
mantle.
I actually have a theory. I actually have a theory. I think no, not I think actually. You can check it historically. In City, Pep sucks when it comes to wingers or anybody that plays on the wing. He kills their career. After Sterling and Sane, every other player that plays on the
Mares.
flank.
Yeah, no, you can't. Mares was class. Yeah,
Yeah, Mahrez was
He
class.
was, he was, but in more okay. So in recent times, you look at
Maybe
Grealish,
he
you
was
look
an
at
outlier.
Savinho.
You could say he was an outlier.
Yeah, you look at Grealish, you look at Savinho. You look at what was the guy they just bought?
Doku.
Jeremy Doku.
Doku. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Doku,
I
I'm
So
think
not
I
convinced.
don't know.
I'm not
these
I
convinced.
don't
guys.
know.
I was reading somewhere where they said where it was like Man City's Pep, he was saying he gets this interview where he granted where he was like, oh, just give me somebody who knows how to dribble, I'll do the rest. Right. So he's more like as in he favors players that know how to carry the ball. All he just wants is give me a player that can, that can just
But
get
that's
past his
Grealish.
man.
But
He
that's
So
also
Grealish.
values.
that's why
He
his
also
transfers
values
has always
output a
been
lot.
about people that know how to, you know, how to get the ball in the box.
I just think
So
the likes of
Speaking about Grealish,
yeah.
where do you guys think Grealish ends up this year?
I I don't think Grealish has a place in that City team anymore. I
no,
mean,
he's gone.
he
No,
has
no, no, he's
fallen.
gone.
He
No, he's
has
gone.
fallen off
He's
the
We are
gone.
talking
But
radar.
where do
about
you think?
where it's going to end up.
Yeah. Where I think he's going abroad. I don't think any English team
No, no, no,
touches.
no England.
He's English. He's English. I think an English team will buy
He's
him if he's
English.
ready to
He will get
lower
an
his
English
wages.
team. He could just
He's
go
Yeah,
back
not.
home to
if he's
Villa.
ready
I
to lower
mean,
his wages.
No,
yeah.
no, no.
I think I'm hearing Napoli is going for him. I think
Yeah, Napoli
if
was
they are
going for him.
serious. I think if they are serious, he will go.
Napoli. Napoli got
Yeah.
Yes,
a good
Napoli was going for
replacement
him.
for Caravella. There's a black guy. I can't remember his name now. Very efficient on the wings.
Yeah,
I don't
but
see
I
Grealish
think
benching him.
Grealish would be a very good addition to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's for posterity to judge or whatever, wherever he ends up,
He ends
for
up
us to
yeah.
see him play.
And KDB is going to Napoli as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They are going to cook even more, I think. They are going to
Yeah.
cook even more. Yeah. It's well, I don't
That's
see sorry, I don't see City actually winning the league,
Yeah,
next.
that was going to be my next question actually. Where do you think they end up this season?
Well, I think first three, maybe third. I don't see them getting that balance to, outclass every other team in the EPL. Liverpool has, strengthened after winning the league, strengthened in the
what?
defense, strengthened in the attack. Arsenal,
Nah.
I think this is the make
After
or break
spending how
season.
much? No.
Yeah, of course.
No.
So,
After
so
spending how much?
Let's
It's
not
not
forget.
by how
Let's
much
not
was spent.
forget.
So
Let's not forget that City spent 200 million in January.
yeah,
and Chelsea spent 1.6 billion in two
Yeah, yeah,
years.
They
yeah.
are not
They spent
Chelsea, by the
200
And
way.
Chelsea
million.
spent 1.6 billion in 2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no,
desperately.
So,
they
well,
they are better business
I would,
dealers than
I,
you.
would- I would agree with you saying they might finish third, or I'll say fourth, and that's just because of the respect I'm adding to their name. So I'll say maybe third or fourth, but
Who?
I definitely can't see them. They might win a cup because Pep likes the cups, but I don't think I can't see them winning the Premier League this season.
Yeah, they will struggle. Obviously. Yeah,
So let's go over to
So,
the
sorry, I
prime.
just wanted to I just saw that. So for Grealish, they're
Yeah,
saying that Tottenham. and Napoli are the favorite. He's most
He
likely.
Tottenham will be
Because
very good. Tottenham will be
but
very
Spurs,
good.
yeah, Spurs would be a good place for him to be.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's supposed to be good.
yeah. So let's go over to the pride of London, Kings of West London, the best club in the world,
So you
Chelsea.
saved Chelsea for last. Oh, there's Manchester United.
Oh my
Chelsea.
goodness.
No. Manchester United finished 15th. We are not talking about them yet. So
They are not ready back.
Chelsea. Uyi, talk to me. What are you feeling?
Chelsea on a
Let me
form my
go
hand for
through.
that Club World Cup, sha.
Let me go through our fixtures. We've got Crystal Palace at home, West Ham away,
Yes.
Fulham at home, London Derby, Brentford another London Derby away, and Man United away.
Yeah, so let me start by saying on Chelsea. I think we as Chelsea fans we need to start with this mindset. And when you have the feeling of disappointment, when you expect disappointment, you're really never disappointed. So I'll start with that. Now, ideally on paper, this should be easy. All these games should be winnable, including Man United. But we know that Chelsea, against the half decent team, not even the cities or Arsenal. Against the half decent team, we struggle to play well. We struggle to, in fact, we don't even play well. We struggle to win those games. So let me start. Crystal Palace, I think we win that. I think we just scrap a
I
1-0 or 2-1
disagree. I
or 2-1
disagree.
win. No. I think we'll win that. West
Is
Ham,
that game
I
at
don't see
night?
us. Is at Stamford Bridge. Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah,
So I think
at
we win that
Stamford Bridge. Yeah.
because it's the first game. Because it's the first game, and we would have been disgraced at the Club World Cup. We will win that. Now West Ham, it could swing either ways. We could win, we could drop. I don't know. But you see, Fulham at home at Stamford Bridge will get beat.
Yeah,
Fulham will
I agree.
beat us.
I actually don't think.
Yeah.
I actually don't think we beat Palace anyway, even at home.
No, but I hope we beat them. But anyways, Brentford will beat us. United, as terrible as United are, looking at the kind of sort of signings they are making,
What
I'm
is
not saying
going
they will be
on?
fantastic next season, right? But I think United will also either get a draw or they'll beat us. Don't forget, historically, the last 4 or 5 years, we've not been very great against United. So let's not forget that for a second. United might be shit, but we are even, at this point, I don't even know if we're in
Cheater.
the worst shit. Yeah? So,
Wait
in
till
terms
they
of
are
the
finished fourth.
fixtures,
Or is it third?
in terms of the fixtures, I see us winning maximum 2 games or 2.5 games. Max. That's two games and draw one. That's what I see at best case scenario.
Pascal, do you agree with that?
Well, to an extent, I do. I agree. I think the team will struggle a bit. I mean, they've been struggling. There's something wrong with Maresca, and I think
Thank you.
somebody needs to
Thank
There's
you.
point it
nothing
out
wrong.
to
It's not
him.
good.
Thank you. I will say something now. I'll say something now. So
So,
sorry
so
for because Pascal.
okay.
Um, as crazy as Poch was when we signed Poch, when we appointed Poch, I did not like it because it was ex Tottenham. I didn't really like Poch's style of football. But guess what? Poch improved players. Poch improved Gallagher. Remember Gallagher under Tuchel, he was shit, but Poch improved him. I would argue that Poch, well, Cucurella, we knew what Cucurella was. He was good and he became shit and he became better towards.
Palmer.
Poch improved Palmer, thank you. But guess what? Poch improved Jackson. I'm getting there. Maresca has not improved one player. He's made them worse. In fact, Jackson scored, I think, 14 goals under Poch, and he scored 10 under Maresca. Palmer has become shit under Maresca. Who again? Gusto is now, he doesn't know how
But
to
but
defend, he doesn't
but
know how
Agree.
to
one
attack.
one player I think I would say improved under Maresca is Enzo.
Enzo was good. That's my point. You
Enzo,
cannot. You
yeah, he
don't
was
call
a good
Enzo
player. He was
Caicedo
just starting out,
or
he was
Cucurella.
new at that point.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. You don't. He didn't improve them.
yeah.
I mean, a coach that has 3 CMs on the bench and decides to play Rhys James easily. Now, I'd argue this. You can argue against it if you
To,
want. I think
Tolu is
on his
enjoying
on his day,
this.
I
Tolu is
think on his
enjoying.
day, Rhys James is easily if he's fit, he has a shot for the best right back position in the world.
Yeah.
I think he's easily the best in the world on his
Why are
day.
you playing
But you
this
play in
guy
his
in
CM,
midfield?
it makes
What
zero
are you
sense
guys
to
saying?
me.
Where we're playing Trent and Alexander-Arnold in the midfield, what
No,
happens?
but there
Hey,
was a
that's not,
reason. There
Rich
was a
James is
reason.
not
Down.
There
Trent.
was a reason. There was a
But
reason.
yet
Trent is
Trent
a
could not
baller.
he's the
defend.
best right back in the world.
Trent could not
Now.
defend. No. Trent, I said argue. I didn't say I said argue. You can argue it. Trent could not defend. And Klopp played Trent in midfield to accommodate for those defensive lapses that he had. And I get it, and that makes sense. And he did it for long. He pushed him back to right back. He pushed him back. But when this man, they said, Einstein said something around insanity is doing the same thing over and over again.
You don't
and
quote
expect
Einstein. I say
different,
problem, Jay.
different results.
Baba problem,
See,
Joe.
honestly, there is. See, let me run you guys through our last. So this calendar is 2025. We have not won any game, and have been exciting, and have been convincing. The last set of games, Nottingham Forest, remember that game was 1-0. We just scripted 1-0 win. Against United that we won 1-0. We were lucky to get that 1-0. And Newcastle beat us. Liverpool were drunk, were hungover from their
They gave us
title.
that game.
I blame
Everton,
Liverpool for allowing
we
you
struggled
go
to win
into that
Everton.
Champions League.
We struggled to win Everton. We struggled to win Fulham. We drew against
Fulham was a miracle.
Exactly. Honestly, we have not under Maresca. The football has been lethargic. Lethargic. Very sideways passing. There is no intent. There is nothing. How would you be losing the game and you just?
Sorry, Uyi. I expected Maresca when he got the job to actually go back and study how Chelsea had played over the years. In the Poch Conte era, Chelsea made a lot of good, wonderful play on the right side of our team. You had Reece James making precise passes,
overlapping runs,
runs, very sharp runs, very potent runs on the right. And he just decided to experiment with James now, play him in the midfield today, tomorrow play him in right back, the next tomorrow play him in left back.
Play Caicedo right back.
Yeah, playing players out of position every single day. Like this guy. See, and honestly,
we used to say when Pep does this, he's genius. Like.
No. Let me say something. About Pep.
Pep has earned the right to do anything.
He's also Pep's understudy, so that one says.
I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. You can be understudy for anybody and not be.
If your players are good enough, you should be able to play in 2-3 positions.
No, but understand something. There is a problem with the football club as a whole. I mean, this problem stems from the owners. Initially, when they came in, there was this obsession with Brighton. Oh, Brighton mode. If you love Brighton so much, buy Brighton. You have bought Brighton. But that's that now they're obsessed with Man City.
You did buy Brighton.
And because once you are ex-Man City, once you're in that Palmer set, they want to buy you.
They want everybody. Yeah.
I mean, the reason you didn't buy... Okay, so I'm Petrovic. I come into the club. I see what Sanchez has just done. I see what Jorgensen has done. And I see what I've done in Salzburg and what I did in Chelsea before. And I'm like, I just want to play out the season where I'm coming from. Guy, give me this number 1 jersey. You're not giving me, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. And they say, oh no, we can't do that. And go, you can go. And Sanchez is still there. And you go and buy. Okay, I wasn't saying anything. I was like, okay, fair, let's see what happens. You're trying to buy the AC Milan goalkeeper, Mike Maignan, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, go and buy him. And you don't buy Mike Maignan because of, guess what, £3 million difference in valuation. Are you kidding me?
No, like, I think it's more about the age, yo.
No, it doesn't matter. For a keeper,
young.
For a keeper,
30 now.
For
a goalkeeper, that's his prime.
Yeah. I think.
In fact, I would argue that he's young at 29.
Yeah. I think we have bipolar owners. I just don't.
And you want to go and sign Gittins for 50 million when you just got rejected for 42 million? Are you mad?
I don't understand what's going. And just before we started, before we started the show, I was saying I think Chelsea fans, we should come to the realization that we are not this big club anymore. It's difficult to say, but you just have to manage your expectations because there is no way. There is no we are still the pride of London, no doubt.
The club is not ambitious. Put it that way.
See, you hear the likes of Arsenal. You hear the likes of Arsenal going for Shesko.
And we are talking about.
Explain to me why we are going for Ekitike that has scored 15 goals in 35 games.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Because he's young.
We signed Liam.
He's a youngster.
He had 12 goals for Ipswich. He had 12 goals for Ipswich last season in the Premier League. 2 goals better than Jackson. Now Jackson is crap. I think he should get the heck out of that club.
Yeah.
Jackson is
you
so
do
useless.
not buy. No serious club would buy the lap to lead the line to say this is who.
You guys are excited about
that. Let me. I'll tell you something. I'm excited about the lap. But I don't think the last
I'm excited about him, but
he should
be
a squad player. He should be a squad player.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, when I saw
Yeah, it
that
shouldn't be. It
Chelsea
shouldn't
was
be.
going all out for Delap, I mean, I was like, okay, Delap is good
In
though,
fact,
but for a
Not as
yes,
the
club like
main,
it's not
not
shouldn't
Chelsea,
be
as
the
the
main
main
being
striker.
striker.
number
Yeah,
nine.
exactly.
See, if you look at all the players that Chelsea has had as strikers back then,
Diego
see,
Costa,
if
Drogba,
yeah,
Shevchenko,
as like they used to put here like they had like
Torres.
best
Those
number nines
calibers. Come
ever,
on now.
you know.
Yeah,
But
some flopped, but you know that
Look,
you understand the intention.
let me tell you,
Lukaku, you understand the intention.
none of these strikers are even as good as Salomon Kalou.
I
I agree.
agree.
Oh no, of course. Are you kidding me?
None of
You're
them.
calling you're calling
no,
Ronaldo
but that
right
one is
here.
below the belt
It's
too.
like saying
Well,
it's like
that was
calling
true,
Ronaldo
sir. To an
But
saying,
extent.
it's
are you
not
kidding
it's
me?
not only
A
it's not
legend
only
No,
now.
but
Delap though. It's Delap
Delap
and
is
Jackson.
That's like comparing. So
Like
let me say something. I'll make a very bold statement. Eh?
what
Jackson
of
is
I
still a
think
Broha?
player.
Jackson was
He's
I
still a
please
beg,
that
please
guy
player.
should be
stop, I
playing.
beg.
No. I just
That
ask
guy
where
should,
the guy did. He don't
that
tell
guy should
now.
go and join. He should
He
go
they
and
come
join Bale
back.
playing
He they
golf.
come back soon.
To where?
See,
He went on loan. He went on loan to Everton, I
to
think. And
Everton,
so
Everton,
Let
yeah,
him
right.
find somewhere
so
to go.
he's coming back.
Stamford Bridge
No,
is not a
but
place for him.
on a serious note, guys. I'm not personally. I hear Prince talk about Liverpool signing Vert, signing Frimpong. I have, of course, personally, I have reservation about some players they've signed, but generally you can see the intent. Even Arsenal, I said something before the show started. I said, "Oh, Shesko." While I don't like Shesko as a player. I'm not excited. If my club wants to sign him, I will not be excited. But I will be on board. It will be similar to when we signed Morata.
It's an
I
ambitious
would
move.
understand. Yeah, I would understand where the club is coming from. That if it clicks well, right? And he's showing glimpses. Makes sense. But explain to me why Chelsea are linked with Ekitike. I like Dilap. Don't get it twisted. I like his aggression. He reminds me of Costa, maybe a poor boy Costa, if you want to call it like that. But the problem is, even Nicholas Jackson shouldn't be the main striker for Chelsea. Dilap shouldn't be the
Normally,
main striker. They should be feeding off somebody else, either Osimhen
Jackson
or
should
a
not.
Gyökeres.
Jackson should not be in Chelsea. Period.
Do you
Delap
think?
that
should
guy.
Do you
As
be.
in,
think Roman?
how you
Do
Delap
you
guys
think
should
have
be an
talked.
Roman?
And
Do you
I
understudy.
like him
do
actually.
you think in Roman's time? Do you think look at the
Never.
red card? It's just gotten. See,
God
Roman.
okay, so
punish Russia. God
Where would they
punish
have
Roman
found
would
Russia.
them?
have tore his
guys,
contract.
I saw some people talk about the Newcastle red card that it was a mistake. He jumped and he jumped like this. Okay, that's fine. Let's
No,
assume
no,
it was
no.
a mistake.
Yeah.
Yesterday, this idiot got a red card. He wasn't defending. It wasn't like it was a sneaker tackle and he got a red card. Maybe they were going to have scores and he
On his
tackled. That's what
birthday.
happened.
Oh, it was
He's a
his birthday.
clown.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was
He's a
excited.
clown.
He's a clown.
I
He
don't
was
even
with
care
this
that
guy
much.
was with the ball. He was with the ball, and he see. I tell you the truth, this top four we made and the conference that we won, I think it made us feel we are somewhere we're not. Personally, I didn't buy it. First of all, I don't think we're going anywhere with this coach. First of all, but I'm not blaming the coach. I'm also not blaming the technical directors. I'm blaming the owners because the owners clearly don't know anything about football. They don't know how a club should be run. They come out to say that Roman didn't run the club well. Are you kidding me? I say he's starting to
You
Osimhen,
do the
know,
same thing over and over and over again and expect different
Osimhen is in
results. Are you
Nigeria
kidding
right
me?
now. Osimhen is in Nigeria right now, going to everybody's house, eating stash and uwu and banga soup, waiting for
Honestly.
Chelsea. Waiting for this guy is rejecting 700,000
Guess
pounds in
how
loan,
much?
waiting
Guess how
for
much you need to
Chelsea.
sign Osimhen? 60, 70 million pounds.
Exactly.
And give this guy,
Give him
give him
200
250,000.
or
But you know the
250.
funny thing? I'll tell you the funny thing. You see this thing that Chelsea is doing. If they get embarrassed by, and I hope we get embarrassed by Bayern Munich. If we get embarrassed by Bayern Munich, eventually when we meet them or any club, prices of the players we want to go for. By the time reality comes, checks us. We face reality.
You,
Those prices will like double.
I,
Easy.
you
Because they know
think
you're desperate at
you
that
think this
point.
guy is scared? For me, I think they
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 don't care actually.
they look
They
at the
don't care.
club for them they are is like they are running a real estate company. You know,
they are playing
buy
FIFA
cheap
career mode.
properties,
You know,
They
renovate
are playing
them,
career mode, yes.
let the prices
FIFA
increase a bit,
25.
and
But
sell off,
I remember I told
and
you guys now last season. I was like,
Okay, tell me one
you guys
player. Yeah.
expectations is what you guys are told.
No,
That's
I
champion.
agree. But the problem is when you have a club that is known for being successful and you see your club being run to the ground. I'm sorry, we're not to take a shit at Arsenal. We're not Arsenal. We will not
We are
sit for
not
19
Arsenal.
years and wait for one FA
This
Cup.
thing with Chelsea is
Are you kidding me?
more about the owners. Ever since
your breakfast is
Abramovich
coming. Don't worry.
left,
It will
right?
touch
See,
everybody.
The model changed
they've
in
changed the
Chelsea,
model, which
yes,
right?
doesn't make sense.
So it's
exactly.
not gonna be you
No, but
guys.
I don't have a problem with making mistakes, right? You have done this since 2021 when you came in. Tell me one player, and that's it, you say you are data driven, you're data driven ownership or whatever. Tell
Yeah.
me one player, just one player that you sign and that you can, apart from Kopama, of course, that you can sell. If I actually, I'd argue that Kopama's value has gone down based on this last season.
Don't
That you
forget,
can sell,
don't forget that
at a
these
higher
guys.
price. One,
Sorry to
just
cut
one.
you. Don't forget that
Yeah,
when
please.
they came in, we were champions of Europe,
Yeah,
And champions of the world.
champions
Club
of
World Cup.
Europe,
Yeah,
champions of the world. They've run this club to the ground.
To the ground.
I,
Exactly.
I
Completely.
can't even believe that I'm going into a season where I'm not excited. I'm not
yeah.
expecting.
You're not looking
They
forward
are
to
selling the
anything, you
women's
know.
Yeah,
they are
yeah, yeah.
selling the women's team to themselves. They are selling
Selling
the car
car
park to
park,
themselves. They're
selling
selling the hotel to
hotels.
themselves. Are you kidding me? I mean, with
See,
Chelsea, we can go on and on. I don't even want to
What about this
get
guy,
angry.
Modric? I mean, how far he's so
I
Drug,
mean,
that
that's
that
another example of
that money will just
drug
waste like
baron.
that.
Thank
tell
you,
me,
gone now.
We
Chelsea,
signed
just to
we
for
signed
terminate
a
his
saving us.
contract. That's
Ukrainian
all.
we signed a
He terminates a
Ukrainian
9-year
drug baron.
contract.
Come on.
4 years
If
is not going to be. I mean,
if it
he's looking at 4 years. Oh,
if it's found
Yes,
It's
guilty,
now.
it's over. It's over.
if it's found
This guy.
guilty, he has
He didn't
violated the
have a
terms of
career
his
before.
contract, and he has to go. He can be
Yeah,
terminated.
yeah, yeah,
But
It's
yeah,
who's
it's
lost?
like the
Chelsea
money
Mutu
lost.
case.
blown.
Chelsea's lost. Chelsea's lost. That's the problem. You can sue
yeah.
him for the salaries, but
Please
you can't sue him for the transfer
let's.
fee.
Can somebody
No, let's move
please
on.
Well,
tell me?
Let's move on. I'm tired of Chelsea. Let's move on.
one more
For a
thing I
club
wanted to
that
say.
just finished in Champions League position, you guys are crying too
I'm
much.
No, please,
hearing,
please,
I'm,
please, please,
People
please.
don't say
I'm
I'm not crying
hearing,
like this.
I'm hearing Arsenal is coming for their yearly, their normal tradition of signing a Chelsea player every year. I hear they are coming from Madrid. What do we think? Are we
Please,
selling?
With both hands.
they can
As
have
in, they
him.
need to fly him.
That guy.
If
See,
I will
possible,
give
send
me,
an
I will
I'm
extra
give
not
them
large
I'm not a
ahead.
Madueke.
Let
Chelsea
him
I'll give
go.
fan,
them Madueke.
but
I'll
I
give
can
them
tell you
Madueke
that
and Sanchez as
every time I
bonus.
see
Both of them.
Madueke in
Arsenal can take him.
Chelsea, I
I
shake
thought
my
we,
head. I like,
I
how
thought
did
you guys like
when did
Madueke.
Chelsea start having
No, you
players
can
like
have him.
Madueke?
We like him. You can have him. We
With
want you to experience him.
We
with
Anyway, I can with
la,
what with all we've
dead.
just said,
Honestly.
I can imagine our predictions for this season. So I
No,
won't even go
outside
there.
top four.
I won't.
Have you seen our last set of games? We are finishing outside top four.
No.
Yeah.
Let's
So
not eat the coach.
You
Outside top
can't
four.
use the last
I
set
will
of games to
spare I
judge.
will spare myself. I will spare
No, you can't.
myself.
No, there's no need. We are
I'll
not
spare
going to.
myself the
No,
heart take. So I won't even ask. So I think we
no,
should
no,
move
don't
on.
bother. Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
Let's move on. Yeah.
I
the
think we should
Athletic
Wait,
yeah.
move
so
on.
put your opening
we have
fixtures
I want us
at
there
just
has to be some sort of standard placed on Chelsea. I mean, this is the pride of London we are talking about. You can't
please.
just
we have
Please, Tolu,
we have to move
Tolu,
on.
don't start.
We have to move on because we've taken up enough time already and we have to wrap the show. But I think we can't go further without talking about the best team in England, the giants of
See,
English football, Manchester.
that
Prince,
one
have been quiet. Prince, have been
is a
quiet.
separate
Quiet.
podcast for that.
Prince.
It's a second part for that one.
Manchester
A full 1 hour.
Manchester United, Manchester United, fresh out of finishing 15th and losing the Europa League final. No European football. First fixture: Arsenal at home, Fulham away, Burnley at home, City away, Chelsea at home. What are we thinking? This is open to anyone.
Tema, just before anybody goes, look, I've actually sat down to analyze this Man United situation, over a period of time. I think it's more spiritual than, physical,
See,
really.
I was about to say
That's the only
I don't even know
explanation I
whether
can
Man
give
U
to
and
a team where every player who comes, flops, goes somewhere else, they play well, you know. That's the
See
only explanation I can
McTominay.
give.
See
Yeah.
McTominay.
Yeah.
Having fun.
Man U
McTominay was
Man U
MVP,
and
most valuable player in the Italian league, right?
FPL's hero.
they're probably
Yeah,
too much.
you know,
Nah.
what's his name? The guy that went to Betis,
Anthony.
Anthony,
Anthony.
Anthony.
Anthony, yeah.
He became a different player
Brilliant.
entirely.
Brilliant.
Very brilliant player. And see what they did in Man U. nothing clicks with all these players wherever they come from. I mean, they brought Mazraoui with all the pedigree, Ugarte, you know,
All
the
those
list.
you know, dead
People
people.
come with pedigree, they come and just like their lights just go off. There's something wrong with the club. They need to look deeply. You know, it's
Yeah, looking at the first five fixtures, I think they only have a chance against Burnley. That's the only thing I can. Arsenal, I think. Well, the history of that fixture says it will be a draw. But this Man United team is so poor. So
But what
I
if we
won't
are
give
making
them
But
a
what
chance.
if we are making well, so let me
they
say
have
this.
good players
I, I'll
though.
make I'll say this, right? I'll say this about two clubs, Arsenal and United. I think Arsenal this season, this coming oncoming season, is either going to make or break them. And the reason I say this is because Arsenal have been finishing second for the past 3 years. I think I'm going to make a bold statement here. I think Arsenal either win the league or they finish fourth or below that. That's what I think. I think it will be a rude awakening for them if they don't win the league. That's one. Then United, also two scenarios I see. I think they end up sacking Amorim and getting their act back on track, or they might just shock us. See, either of those two.
This guy dirty shock.
oh yeah,
Those
where will
guys
the
are not.
shock
No,
come?
you
I'm
see,
trying to think of where the shock will come from. You know,
Those guys,
like
those guys are
going
not
on a
shocking.
winning
I think
streak.
They're
Amorim.
not
I
shocking
think let me
anybody
They
but
might they
themselves.
might just they might just shock
they
us
might
and go
surprise
on.
us. They might.
Shock.
They might just shock us
I
and
want
go
to
on
go with the shock.
relegation.
Go away.
I want to go with the shock. Shock.
Shock.
Well, we'll
See,
see.
They will
you
shock
know,
themselves.
for me, what I thought last season was, a lot of people may not agree. It's quite controversial. Appointing Amorim was too quick. I mean,
I
bringing
agree. Yeah.
an entirely new coach in the middle of a storm was too quick for them to have done. I expected they would have let Van Nistelrooy, if for anything, a player who is a legend of the club. He knows how to do it. He's done it over the years. He knows how to handle the atmosphere. He knows how to put the players in line, based on the quality and expectation, the tradition of Man U. They should have just left him,
Yeah.
to steady the tide and prepare for the next big manager to come. They were too quick to to throw all that work away to bring somebody. Amorim is quite a new coach when you talk of European pedigree. He's come to limelight just in the last 3-4 years. You know, he's not handled so much pressure. He's coming from
Yeah.
Portugal. So I think they were too quick to bring in Amorim, and it's showing. For every game, they were becoming
I
worse,
think
but for every game, and see how they ended.
I don't really
They
have a
almost
problem with
relegated.
Amorim himself, right? I think for me, I think it's more about the timing, right? And because of the timing and the caliber of players that they have. So the timing was everything because even Amorim did not want to come initially. He
Yeah.
was like,
yeah, they
let's leave it till
convinced
the end of
him.
the season. And then he will have time to just like do whatever he was. Right now, he's in a pickle. Next season, just like this guy said, it's either gonna get fired or something. I don't even see Man U doing anything. Those guys, their problem, I don't even know them and Nigeria who has more was
But we are failing to acknowledge something, right? That the Chelsea ownership is useless, but United ownership is even more useless. The reason I say this is because what's his name? Ten Hag had a terrible season 2 seasons ago because he just won the FA Cup. You now you back him. That is one that I didn't understand that decision. Then you back him. You bought players for him. Then you sack him 2 or 3 months after. Make it make sense to me.
You know the worst part?
It
The,
doesn't make any
the
sense,
worst
really.
part was the way he tore the management apart when he said they came to look for him. They interrupted his holiday, just to extend his contract and all. I mean, and just a few months later.
Do you understand? So honestly, it's
Bipolar
ludicrous when you think
owners,
about
man.
it.
I did
Bipolar
tell you
owners.
that one is just worse. As in, but nobody's talking about their incomings. What do you think that is gonna help their cause at any
Good players.
level? Yeah,
I
I feel like
think
they
On
have
I
good
paper.
think
play.
if they
Hmm?
get Umbuemo, it's going to be good. And
Yeah,
I think
Umbremo
Yeah.
and Cunha's
yeah,
addition, I think
yeah, yeah.
it's
Cunha
something that might
Cunha is a
help them.
good player,
But what about the
but
back? That their back line,
I don't
Jesus.
think it moves the needle. I don't think
They're
it
not
moves
they're
the
Yeah.
not
needle.
needle
Maguire.
movers. Yeah, I agree.
No, I don't.
I agree.
I feel like the players that they brought in might just be good enough to get them to, where they've been finishing like seventh,
Yeah, yeah.
sixth,
European spots, yeah.
kind of position.
Prince, anything that goes to their post is a goal. So how would they
No,
pick
they,
that?
Like you have
Anyway,
no,
guys,
you have yeah.
we have to wrap up. We have to wrap up. It's been a lovely session with you guys, and I think we are not done here. We have to do another video to continue because we still have Spurs to talk about. We still have other teams. We have Villa to talk about, and we have Forest to talk about as well. So I think we have to do this another time. But our time is up. So thank you guys again for coming, and for our viewers, if you've enjoyed this video, please drop a like, subscribe, share. Drop your opinions in the comments. Tell us what you agree with. Give us your own arguments. Let's just interact with us, and let's build this community as well. But until next time, take care.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Tema.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.